Ooh, what an adventure. Hello everybody. So today I am with my iPad. I have some trouble with my phone. Yesterday I had my phone changed, my iPhone, and I cannot connect my Instagram. But this helped me to discover that someone is using my account. So I am in the process of recovering that. Luck, I'm still here on my iPad and my computer. So I'm a little bit like, you know, since this morning trying to figure out this and spend a lot of time online and trying to get this done. I may have a contact to help me. So we'll see. I wanted to do the live before doing any kind of manipulation to be sure that I will be able to connect. So voila. So today, as I said, I would love to do a video because I had a request about to do a video about sleeping, how to sleep well. What do I do to sleep well? I see how old I am. I am 65 and a half. So I go to 66. So, I also see someone is just took a badge. Thank you very much. I forgot to tell this, that I'm turning on badges that you can, in a way, it's not to support me, but it's the money I collect for the orphanage that I'm supporting. So the connection will be also in the comment and in the description in my video. Also today I have a guest connected directly to healthy sleeping, so I will let you know a little bit later. I'm going to invite him, and I'm going to invite Karl from Sleeping on Latex, Sleep on Latex. And so about healthy sleeping. I did a video last year about that. And the first thing is about, for me, your environment, that it's be in or out. I mean by that if your bedroom is very peaceful, meaning that you use for your interior design and for your bedding a natural, mostly organic fabrics or materials, this is really helping a lot, because this will not interfere. I'm going to try to take off my glasses because someone told me my glasses make reflections. When you have organic product, organic fibers, I'm going to tell again about that logical basic thing. We are organic as nature. So more we use organic natural product, more we are in balance, and more it flows, the energy flows, more it's healthy for our electromagnetism, because we are electric beings. So if we have interferences, and we have these days with all the technology, this invisible pollution, so to minimize that, in a way to absorb that, if you put, you know very well about the fact to be grounded, to release to the soil, to the ground, to the bare feet, for example, all the energy, and you feel much better when you walk barefoot on the sand, on the ground, because you are releasing, you give to earth all the negative invisible pollution. So, and it helps you to reconnect with the frequency of the planet. So if you have materials that interfere with that, meaning metals, glass, a lot of metal, a lot of glass, synthetics, this is going to interfere with the electromagnetic field, yours, and going to cut you from the one of nature. So it's subtle, it's invisible, but this is what is going on, to schematize. I'm not a scientist to explain you all the details, but this is what is going on. So when you wear natural fibers, like this is linen, this is cashmere, as you know, linen on my bedding is in linen or cotton. You can have a very nice cotton. I love linen because it has this kind of less, maybe it's a different softness than cotton. It's a kind of soft, rough softness. It's rough and it's soft in the same time. It has a dry feeling. I really love linen for this dry feeling and this thing of absorption. I have the feeling that linen refresh me and absorb very well humidity and release it when it's, in the sun. I put my bedding in the sun as well. The sun is, the most amazing thing to purify. So this is for that. It's important also for us, and this is one of the things. It's important for us to be exposed to the sun, okay, around half an hour a day. And like this, you can also, it's going to help you also to have a better sleep. So this is the environment of your bedroom. It's about a peaceful area, no sharper edge, not a lot of electric appliance, not a metallic lamp on the side of the bed, no digital, wake-up call, a phone, and all these things you can put them far away from your bed, like maybe 1-2 meters from your bed. This is the first thing. And also, evidently, what is very important, it's the mattress, the bed you have. So bedding is very important. I have this latex mattress, I can say since ever. I discovered latex mattress. It's a beautiful story. When I quit Corsica with my first husband and my baby son, we arrived in Paris and we had absolutely no furniture. So my sister-in-law, who was used to live in the US, coming back from the US, she brought, but this was 47 years ago. My son gonna be 48 next month. So she loaned us, she gave to us actually, because I kept it a long time. And when I left Paris, I offered it to my brother-in-law. So this latex mattress that she gave to us when we were just, starting our life in Paris, I discovered that and it was fantastic. So I looked for that. At that time it was not easy to find, but I found, and since I always had latex mattresses. So when I was in New York, when we arrived in New York with my second husband, we bought a latex mattress. And when we separated, he kept the mattress, and I bought a new one here like 14 years ago almost. And some years ago, I wanted to have an extra bedding for my guests. So I went online and I ordered an organic mattress at Sleep on Latex many years ago. And I think it was last year, I contacted them to know if they wanted to do a collaboration, and nicely we did already, a small collaboration. And now they contacted me again to do another collaboration with offering me a beautiful new mattress and pillows. And it's really wonderful because this mattress story followed me all my life. I suffered of bad mattresses when I was, at my parents'. My bed was not really good. I was used to live mostly on the other side with my grandparents, where I had a great bed because my uncle on my mother's side was making mattresses in wool at that time. So I knew how to make them. I was helping. I was a little girl, but I was like helping him to clear the wool, to put it at the sun. Every year we were opening the mattress, separating the wool that was stuck, and put it at the sun, and closing, knitting after, sewing the mattress. So I learned about that with my uncle. So mattress has always been a thing in my life, and it's very important to me. I don't have couch, I don't have a lot of furniture, but I have very good bedding. So with Karl from Sleep on Latex, we're gonna go online together, and he's gonna tell us his process, how we started to make latex mattresses, and what are the advantages and what are the properties, and every question you can have about that. And also Sleep on Latex with Karl are doing something really nice, giving a donation for the orphanage. So I'm very, very thankful for the gift of my new mattress, but also thankful for the donation, because they are really needing. So let's see, I need my glasses, if I can find Karl. Oh, thank you for the badges. This is so, so kind of you. So let me find Karl here. I send my request. And yes.
Hi, Yasmina.
Hey, Karl.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm very happy. Thank you to you. I was a little bit worried because, luck, I have my iPad, because I changed my phone yesterday, and in fact, I had a small issue with my phone. It was not working properly. So I went to Apple, and they said, oh, you have to change it. It cannot work anymore. So, but impossible to connect on my Instagram on my iPhone.
Yeah.
To another account. But in fact, it's a blessing, because some days ago, I had a message from Instagram that I thought it was a spam, telling me that I was denounced as a spam. I said, it's impossible. It's my, it's my regular verified account. And in fact, now I understand. This other account took my phone number, my full name.
Oh my God.
And I cannot now connect that because they have a VPN, and I cannot get back to my account on my phone. But now I understand why Instagram sent me that, and I thought they were a spam,
Yeah.
So this is great, because now I know I'm going to have someone to help me, but now I know that I have a spam, but it's not me. It's someone that settings,
Yeah.
So it's complicated, because I've been hacked 2 years ago, and it has been such a nightmare. And direct Instagram never helped me. I had someone help me. It took me 1 week to recover my account. So now I'm like taking care. When I have a message asking for my, password, I'm like, no, I don't want to be spam. But in fact, it was real Instagram. It was them. So I'm going to see how I can eventually get back on this message I got at that time. So here we are with my iPad. And I was telling my followers about the benefits of sleeping in natural, materials. And maybe a lot of people, I'm sure, don't know about latex mattresses.
Yeah.
And me, it has been all my life, as you know, I told you, all my life it has been about latex mattresses and pillows. And I have my little latex pillow with me. So I thought it will be very interesting coming from you, that we have information about that. And to know your path. How did you started that? What make you, and how you evolve in that process?
Yeah.
And why organic and all that. I think it can be really, really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess a little history on latex mattresses first, because that's something that I run into a lot is, I'll tell people I have a business, and they say, oh, what do you do? We sell mattresses. They're latex mattresses. People always go, what? Latex? What's a latex mattress? I think especially, overseas, my experience has been that it's more known. But in the US, people just are not familiar with latex mattresses, and they don't associate latex with being a comfortable material. They think of a lot of other things with latex.
Yeah, but Karl, this is funny, because my first latex mattress came from the US when my sister-in-law was living in Washington.
Yeah.
Gave it to us, and it was Dunlop, the brand.
Right. Yeah, and so it's actually, if you go back in history, a lot of tire makers were involved in making mattresses. If you go back like to the 50s and 40s, latex mattresses were widely used before polyurethane foam came in. And polyurethane foam is like, if you've ever taken a sofa cushion and unzipped it, and it's kind of like that yellowish foam that you
Yeah.
find inside of there. That's what polyurethane foam is. It's a petroleum product. There is some latex that can be made, it's like a synthetic latex that's made with petroleum. But what we use is all natural latex. So it's harvested from rubber trees. They'll scrape the tree and this liquid comes out, and that liquid is latex. They'll collect it in a coconut shell. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but this is important. I saw them in Brazil when I saw, a rubber tree
Yeah.
plantation. What is important for people to know is that the trees are not cut for that.
Right.
The
Right.
trees have, like for the maple syrup.
Yeah. Thank you for
There's a
clarifying
little
that.
dent, and this is coming from that, and this in this cup of coconut, for example, they get the rubber
Yeah.
that is white.
Exactly. Yeah. So what they'll do, they grow the trees, and when they're 5 years old, they can start tapping them. And yeah, when I said cut, I mean like they'll cut like they're scraping a little groove
Yeah,
into the side of the tree.
and
It
they
doesn't
put the
harm the
bowl
tree at
under.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it keeps growing, and they'll take one side and they'll scrape from one side for 6 years. Then they'll go to the other side. They'll do that for 6 years. Then they'll go
amazing.
back to another spot on the other side, do that for 6 years, go back to the other side for 6 years. So it's a really long lifespan that rubber trees have, which is great because you have trees growing for 30 years to
Yeah,
produce latex.
yeah,
So, going back to the history of latex foam, it was invented, I believe it's 1929. It was around then that it was invented. And so a lot of companies that are now associated with tires were actually doing mattresses then. Polyurethane foam came in, which is now widely used. It's cheaper. It's made from petroleum. It's not as good of a product. But because of that, people in the U.S. have kind of like lost touch
yeah.
with latex foam. So I started another business I actually started doing contract sewing, and then I got into doing beanbag chairs, and I got into like selling different textiles online. And one of my suppliers had latex foam, and I had never heard of it before, but it was the most expensive foam that they sold. And they had like a whole spiel in their catalog about what a great material it was. And I just got really interested in it. And I found there was actually there was a market for it online. And you mentioned pillows. That's the first thing I started selling
Yeah,
was
yeah.
pillows. And I think I really got into it because I used the pillow and I saw what an amazing product it
Ah,
was. It's really more comfortable than any other pillow I've ever used in my life.
no, and you know what is good? Because I received a proposal for collaboration with this pillow shape, like supposedly for wrinkles and all. I
Okay.
never answered to that because mine in latex, it's when you put your face, I'm a side sleeper. When I put my face, it doesn't, I'm never like that the
Yeah.
morning. It just stays.
It,
And
yeah.
it's so peaceful, and the skin, I put my face in a way that it stays like that,
You know,
and
you know,
maybe this help. I could be more wrinkles, I have not done anything, but this maybe help as well, because and it's a great feeling. I don't feel like like all wrinkled at all,
yeah.
and it goes very well in the neck. It's a total relaxation. I could not sleep with something else.
It,
To the point that, as I told you, I have my little one that I bring everywhere with me when I travel.
yeah. It's
Hotels and everywhere, the pillows are not great. So I have my little latex one, and it's perfect. I can sleep everywhere with that.
it's the number one thing that I notice when I'm traveling is, a latex pillow makes such a difference. And
Yeah.
I wake up with stiff necks all the time when I'm traveling. I've never like brought the pillow with me, but I like, that you have this small pillow that you can take.
Yeah,
because
take that.
it really makes such a huge difference in your sleep.
Actually, you should make one, a small one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the dimension of the one I have. It looks
Okay.
very small, but
Yeah.
it's perfect. And this is can help so many people. Sure, you
Yeah.
can use it in the plane already, but in hotel room, I can tell you, I'm always scared to forget it. So it's like the first thing on my pillow.
Yeah.
This is the most important thing
Yeah.
because it's like being at home everywhere with that. And it when you don't experience that, you cannot, and you have also to see that they are not too thick, because if they are too thick, you cannot rest the same. They have to be not flat, but almost not
Yeah.
too thick.
Yeah. And
But it's
I think what you were describing, you know, with laying on it is that it's like a perfect mix of softness and support. You know, it
yeah,
just doesn't feel like you're pushing too far into it or it's pushing back at you.
yeah,
And I think that's something, you know, that's another reason why latex mattresses are not really sold in stores is that you lay on it, it's actually like a little bit boring. Like you don't get some feeling like with memory foam where you're sinking into it. It
yeah,
doesn't really do anything. It's just comfortable. But when you think about it, that's exactly what you want. You want to be sleeping on something that's boring, that you don't really notice at all, you know?
yeah. Yeah, because you see, for example, when there are these memory foam, I can't. I'm
Yeah.
I'm like burning, too hot. And
Yeah.
also I dig. And after, when it's like that, I contract my muscles and I'm like that, you know, I'm like, when I am on latex, it's firm and I can totally let go my body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is such a great feeling. It's like, and it's difficult to explain when you don't, it's really something. There is nothing else like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's no other material that I've laid on that has the same feeling as
Yeah,
latex foam. It's
yeah.
really just in a class of its own. And it is very hard to describe unless you actually try it.
And when you try, you cannot go back. I'm telling you, I didn't know. I was 18, 19 when I felt the first one. I
Yeah.
didn't know what it was. I was coming from Corsica, you know, an island. She brought this from the US, so it's almost 50 years. She had it maybe from 60 years, you know, and it lasts a long time because after when I left Paris 22 years ago, I gave it to my other brother-in-law, and they still have it.
Yeah.
It
It's
lasts when it's a great quality. It lasts long time.
that's the other thing about latex foam is, you know, it just has really superior durability. It will just last forever. We anecdotally, we talk to people all the time that find our company and they tell us about latex mattresses that they bought in like the 60s or 70s and they're
Yeah,
still using it. I mean, it's like you would never believe it. You know,
yeah,
nobody would believe that in the mattress industry, but we hear it all the time from people.
yeah, yeah. So these are some of the amazing properties, and also the fact that you work with providers, all this collaboration with other countries, and it's quite interesting because it's like bringing together the technology we have with the good product of it's Sri Lanka, I think you have,
Yeah, yeah. So
and
all
New
of our,
Zealand. Yeah,
yeah.
cool. And it's beautiful. I would love that you tell us how you work with these people, this company there.
Yeah, definitely. So starting with Sri Lanka, so we've worked a lot on our supply chain. And one thing that was important to us, you mentioned organic latex. We wanted to get a source of organic latex. We've always used natural latex, which is from the rubber tree, but we wanted to go a step further and use latex, natural latex that comes from organically grown rubber trees.
Hmm.
We really strongly believe in the value of organic agriculture, and we wanted to promote that. We wanted to make sure that our supply chain was supporting organic agriculture. So we built a bit of a supply chain where most of our latex is coming from just small scale farmers in Sri Lanka. We make sure that they get paid higher premiums for organic. So they're being rewarded for that. We're actually in the process now of starting a fair trade program too. So that will also be contributing to a fund that helps the workers at those farms. The agricultural workers are generally the most vulnerable people in the supply chain. And so we want to take steps to make sure that they're being treated fairly and that they're benefiting as much from the arrangement as we are. And then with New Zealand, we're partnered with this organization called Wools of New Zealand. And so all of our mattresses are wrapped in a cover that has wool quilted into it. And so Wools of New Zealand provides all of the wool that we use. They're a farmer-owned organization in New Zealand. And what they do is they partner up with different brands and we'll assure them of some level of volume. And then they'll supply directly to us. It then bypasses the auction system that's used for a lot of wool. Wool farmers are generally struggling in New Zealand. Sometimes they don't even get paid. They have to shear the sheep, but they're not even recovering the costs of shearing the sheep. So bypassing this auction system, that ensures that they get paid more money. And again, we've worked with Wools of New Zealand to develop different organic wool suppliers. So there's a number of different farms in New Zealand that supply wool just to us, and we make sure that they get paid a premium on top of what they would normally get. So that way we're really encouraging organic agriculture to take place.
So and this is great because this is all the beautiful positive energies that we can have in your mattress made this way. So it increases even the peace that we can have with that. Beyond the physical, it's also this energy, this beautiful frequency of love, we can say, because it's for love of these people who are working to produce this thing, to work on that. And this is a result. Someone was asking me if it was 1 or 2 layers. Yes, there are some. This one is 1 layer, but you're going to tell us about the specificity of your mattress. But I had once a latex mattress, king side, that has 2 layers because it was so big that it's very heavy. So they put it in 2 layers to be able to manage easier. But these one are 1 layer. It's 1 layer, is that?
There's actually there's 2 layers inside of it. It looks like one piece, but it's 2 different layers of foam, and they're adhered together with a latex adhesive.
Okay, because I did not open the mattress.
So inside of it, there are actually 2 layers in there.
Because I was alone to unfold it. So I posted the video when I unfold it a little bit. It's easy. It's not complicated. The way you wrap it, make it very easy. Sure, don't cut the plastic because it's going to poof like that. You just peel off a little bit the plastic, slowly, and let it breathe. And breathe, and I did that at the foot of my bed, ready to slide on the bed. And after the plastic, when you take off more layers of plastic, you see the mattress blowing slowly like that, and you are like, and finally it's becoming big, and finally you take off the last and it's unfolds. So you have to have room in front of your bed, or and me, I did it easily, and I was alone, and it's quite heavy. But
I'm very impressed that you were able to do it on your own.
I take all my energy in my aura, like here, I'm stuck here, and I pull it on one side, I go on the other side, and like that. And it was not complicated, The delivery man was like, how are you going to do that alone? I say, I will manage it. It was like, how can you do this? Because it's heavy. But
That's
it's also what it's make it great.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the one, if there is one downside of latex foam, it's that it is very heavy, but that's what makes it very high quality too. So once you get it into place, then
Ah,
it's great. It's one time. You have to struggle with it a little bit to get it on your bed. Once you have it there, though, you'll love it, you know?
yeah, yeah. And someone asking if it's cool to sleep on.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
another benefit of latex foam, is that it has holes that actually go through the foam. Those are actually like remnants of part of the production process. But the main thing that keeps the latex foam cool is that it's an open-celled foam. So the air just flows through it very easily. If you see like a side, like a cut through the foam, you'll see that there's all these little like
oh,
air chambers
yeah.
flowing through the foam. It's
And
mostly just
also,
air.
yeah, and also latex is antibacterial.
Yeah,
The
that's
property of latex.
yeah. I've heard that. We don't advertise that because we haven't done any like proper testing on it, but I have read that in several
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
So
Me,
yeah.
I get good documented a little bit on
Ye-
latex mattresses because I've always been amazed by how from a tree the juice of a tree we can get that.
ye-
It's fantastic, you know. And I know it's antibacterial. Like bamboo is antibacterial. Like yak is antibacterial. You know, there
Yeah.
are fibers that are antibacterials. And so this is one of the things. So this is, I think it's also for that it's very peaceful sleeping
Yeah.
because it's like somewhere you know you can really let go, you don't risk anything.
Yeah.
And some people told me, oh yeah, but what about latex allergies? So I guess you have this question as well.
So this is a question we get a lot. You know, typically we don't talk to people who have latex allergies that are worried about it. They've just heard of other people that have latex allergies and they think it must be a problem. It really is not something that we run into all that often. The latex, when it goes through the manufacturing process, a lot of the proteins, which are what causes the latex allergy, are actually washed out of the latex. So, you know, when we've done testing on the proteins, we found that they're at very low levels, sometimes even below detectable levels. The other thing is that most people are allergic to latex. It's a skin contact allergy.
Yes,
So
yeah.
generally, they're only allergic, like, you know, if their skin is touching the latex, which with our products, you know, typically you're going to be using it with at least a cover or some kind of sheets on top of it. You're not going to come into direct contact with the
No,
latex.
and you know me also, I bought an organic cotton topper that
Yeah,
is quite really nice. It's beautiful texture, but it add an extra layer of that. The mattress by itself is really beautiful. It's
yeah,
really the way you did, very simple. It's really, really nice. But I put this cover on the top, and um, and it's there is absolutely no contact with latex actually, and even there are no emanation. There is no smell.
yeah,
I unfold it, I let it open all day before putting the sheets. I say, okay, it's come from the box.
yeah.
It no smell at all, and I am in a very tiny room, no smell. So this is also important.
Yeah, and what we always recommend to people is like you don't really have to air it out. I think a lot of times when people get mattresses, they feel like they have to air it out. Actually, if you put it in the sun or put it in heat, it'll have odor that's not there to begin
Oh,
with. So we always tell people not to do that. And if they want to let it air, if they want to air it out, just to put it in like a dark, well ventilated room for 24 hours, or just use it right away. It's really fine
yeah.
to use right away. We have several environmental certifications, which are like emission certifications, where they're testing for any harmful chemicals or any VOCs that come off of the latex foam. So all of our products are assured
Yeah.
to be very safe in that way.
Yeah, what I do because it's so heavy, I cannot, but I open all the windows, and when I change my bed once a week, I let for hours like this open.
Yeah, yeah,
Cover my bed as soon as I, uncover it and wash the sheets. I just let half day or the full day like that,
yeah,
breathing, and that's it. It's as I also have incense at home, and this, I think it helps in the process
yeah,
of
yeah, definitely.
cleaning and all that. So it's not complicated. In fact, it's a very simple product, very simple product.
That's our whole thing is like this is not a complicated product at all. We're using
Mm.
foam that was invented about 100 years ago. People know how to make it. It's not complicated. We're using cotton and wool. These are very simple materials, and we're making simple products out of them. But we're trying to do it in the most simple and correct way that we can that results in a high quality product. We're not trying to do anything extra fancy with it. We're just giving you like latex foam with some natural materials on top of it. And I think that's really all you need to have a
Yeah,
really good night's sleep.
yeah, but this is what I was saying at the beginning. The more simple, the more you are surrounding you and using natural material from nature,
Yeah,
the more in balance you're going to be and the less disturbance you're going to have. It's very simple. You don't have to complicate it with these amazing 20-inch mattresses with springs and the springs there and these there. They have this little spring at that place and the big one. No way. No
yeah,
way. Be more simple. And it's the same for everything. But it's been nutrition, but it's been on way of living. Go to basics, to simple. And it's what I like there. It just, you don't have all this extra thing to make
yeah.
it like super thing. It's already super by itself.
I think even when you talk, I know there are a lot of people that are concerned with getting too hot at night. I think a lot of problems that people have with sleep comes from the fact that there's synthetic materials being used in the mattress, whether that's in the sheets or it's in the mattress itself. They just don't breathe as well,
Yeah,
and they
because
trap heat.
yeah, yeah, because during the night, around 3 o'clock of the morning, the body, the liver is warming up to
Yeah,
burn the toxins.
yeah,
So it's for that middle of the night we can have some more hot.
yeah,
If we are on synthetic, it keeps that, it increases that.
right.
And you cannot sleep. And if by any chance you have unluck, you have something in your mind, it's finished. You don't sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very very simple again. I see someone say, "Can I put on a slate platform?"
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
put it. You can put it on slats. I think latex mattresses they're very flexible. So you should know that if you have it on slats, it can bend in a little bit into the slats, and it might make it a little bit softer than it would be on a flat surface. But it's totally fine to use it on slats. You don't want to use slats that are too far apart either.
yeah,
Like more than 3 inches, you might end up with the mattress kind of like concaving a little bit between the slats. But yeah, it's totally fine to use it on slats as long as they're close together.
yeah. And they can be used directly on the floor as well. If you have a healthy floor, with me, I would put a wood carpet underneath and. Very simple. You don't need big installation.
Yeah, yeah,
Also, the advantage when you don't have bed frame and all that, you don't have all these angles, even if it's wood or thing, and you don't have all this eventually noise when you move because you can have the back that is moving a little. Of it's even if there is no noise, it's more peaceful because it's just that. It's no frame, nothing, just that. And it makes a big difference,
yeah.
really big difference.
And just like you were talking about with grounding, I think that, there's something to be said for when you're on the ground that you just feel very peaceful. And it might have to do with the frame and like, you get those movements or sounds from the frame. I just think there is something very peaceful about being on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit like Japanese style as well. It's
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I see. How deep are the mattresses?
Yeah, so the mattresses have 8 inches of foam. The finished height with the wool comes out to be about 8.5, 9 inches. But there's 8 inches of foam inside. It's a little bit short for like what people are used to in the US. Like you said, you go into a mattress store and you see these mattresses that are like 18 inches, and nobody's sinking 18 inches into a mattress. I mean, it just doesn't. You're not going to sink nearly 8 inches into a mattress. You'd feel like you were sinking through the mattress. You were inside of it if that happened. So, a lot of these like very high mattresses, it just makes the mattress look more substantial. But the
Yeah,
truth is, it's just springs inside of the mattress, which are mostly just air. So there's very little cost to it, which is why that's done a lot. And back to our theme of just being simple, we think 8 inches is really like that's what you need to be comfortable. I even think sometimes you could get away with less than that. But people in the U.S., like I think once you get less than 8 inches, they think it's like it's not enough. So we tried to strike that balance of not overdoing it, but like giving enough so that it's similar to what people are used to with a mattress. It won't look like it's really, really thin.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it's I think for a lot of people it can be a discovery
Yeah.
because I it blows my mind, to know that it comes from a tree. This is for me the most amazing thing. And we cannot imagine such a thing. You know what I mean? If we don't know,
Yeah.
how are we gonna imagine such a thing that it's coming from a tree like maple syrup? Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible that it comes from a tree and it has superior properties to, we can dream up all of these synthetic materials that come from petroleum. And here we have a tree, and all we have to do is just scrape the tree, and a liquid comes out that's like way better than anything else that we can make?
yeah, like the wool of the lamb. They have
Yeah,
to shave because it's hot, because
right.
of heat. For them to be comfortable, they have to be shaved. So this wool has to serve something, and it
Yeah.
comes directly there from the animal, from the lamb.
Yeah, and it's just when you find these materials in nature, I think you get a lot of these superior properties that you don't get from synthetic materials. They're just we're biological beings, so like,
Yeah,
when we're matched with natural living
yeah,
materials, I think
exactly.
we do a lot better.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I think we complicate it too much, in the name of evolution and all this. But this is business. It's commercialization and that, because I saw also some people asking for the price of
Yeah.
mattresses. And they are, for me, they are not expensive when you think how many years you can keep it. If you divide the price
Yeah.
in, let's say, 10 years or even 20 years, because you're going to keep it a long time, you can see that it's not a lot by year for 1/3 of your time in your bed.
Right. And actually, that's something that's been important to us. Yeah, I think when you do that long calculation, you see you're getting a much better value when you buy a latex mattress. But, before we started, we did see a lot of latex mattresses were being sold at really high prices. We wanted to offer something that was really good quality, as good of quality. I think a lot of times our stuff is better quality than latex mattresses that you can buy for like
Mm.
$4,000, five thousand
Yeah,
dollars.
yeah,
But we wanted to make it affordable. We wanted people to be able to have access to it. So yeah, I do think the prices. It's not, if you want like the cheapest mattress out there, it's probably not the mattress for you. But I think it's pretty in line with a lot of other mattresses that are being sold, and the prices are not, I think when you compare it to similar products, we're actually really on the low end of the price spectrum.
Yeah, and on your website, it's very easy to navigate because there are not many different style and designs, and there is only one and with different sizes, and that's it.
Yeah, we don't want to make it complicated for people. Like we said, like this is, we have two firmnesses. So if you like a really firm mattress, you probably want to go with our firm mattress. If you don't necessarily like really firm mattresses, then go with our medium mattress. Those are the only two options that
Yeah,
we have. We try to make it really simple for people.
yeah, me, I prefer firm. I prefer firm because I
Yeah,
can really let my body go. Because
yeah,
if I think a little, my body cannot go the same way, cannot let go the same way. Maybe
yeah,
me, some people maybe loves to feel like in a cocoon. Me, it's not my thing. I don't have this need of being cocooned. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's also up to the psychology of the person. Maybe there is an unconscious need of being cocooned, so they would prefer to have a mattress that is more like, surrounding them,
yeah, yeah.
So the medium one would be maybe more. Me, I love to be like free and to let go like that. And it's this morning I was there and it's like, thankful how it's possible to feel so good.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I think we saw all the aspect of that. I don't know if we have some question. I don't know if we
I don't
can
know if there was
see.
anything that we missed.
How long do they last? How often do you need to replace? I think we spoke about that, but you can tell us more
Yeah,
about.
well, we put a 10-year warranty on the mattresses, but this is it's kind of like a minimal warranty. We think that they'll last much longer than that. When you look at a lot of mattress warranties, once they go beyond 10 years, they're like prorated and they're not really worth much. So
Yeah,
we try to just be like simple and straightforward. We're guaranteeing it for 10 years. But like you were saying, you had a mattress that lasted forever, and we
yeah.
talk to people all the time that have had latex mattresses that have lasted for 30, 40 years.
Oh yeah,
So you can really, because we're such a young company, I always feel a little funny about like telling people, oh, it's going to last for like 50 years. I do feel very confident with the 10 years, but just anecdotally, I know we've talked to a lot of people where they've lasted much longer than
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's a great investment. Let's see if I have something else.
Oh,
Page to look. You can see on. I will put the name under the video. Sleep on Latex. So there is Instagram, and you can go on their website as well, and you can see everything there. I check this question. Oh, most mattresses in US are high in VOCs. What is VOCs?
yeah. So VOCs are volatile organic compounds. So this is when I was talking about the emissions test, that's mainly what they're testing for. So these are materials that have the possibility of evaporating at room temperature. And so if you have a harmful VOC, you can potentially breathe that in because it can
Okay.
evaporate into the air. Um, and that's a big problem with polyurethane foam or memory foam mattresses or even like fire retardants is that you can get these VOCs.
Oh
We
yeah,
have a number of certifications. Ours are very low in VOCs.
yeah, yeah. And someone is asking also, after sleeping for a few years, will it develop permanent dents and valleys?
It really won't. It shouldn't, and that's what our warranty protects against. But yeah, you really should not have that experience of like any kind of indentation where you're lying on the foam.
Unless it's not on the good base.
That's true. Actually, a lot of the time when we do see issues, it's funny when we talk through the issue. A lot of times we'll find that it's actually the base that has the indentation, and if people take the mattress and take it off the base,
Yeah,
that the issue disappears.
yeah, yeah,
So that is something that you have to be careful for is the base, and also, yeah, if all of the foam is resting on one spot of the base, you can potentially get indentations if there's a lot of pressure being put on those spots over and over again.
Mm. So I'm looking. Oh, someone maybe was saying, are the latex towels? I think it's the latex pillows just as good. Because towels, I don't see what can be latex towels.
I don't
I
know.
think it's that. Oh, someone say I love my sleep-on latex mattress.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's really really amazing which brand. So it's sleep-on latex. So I think we did all the tour, and I also mentioned that you were kindly making a donation for the orphanage I'm supporting, and I'm really grateful for that. And it's really nice. And you told me, because I was requesting for an incentive for my followers, but you explained to me how it was difficult to do that because of the percentage that left. And it's true, if we give 10% to the followers and 15% for the orphanage, it's not possible for you to do that.
Yeah,
So, but you offer to do a donation, and this is fantastic
yeah.
because this is really, really helpful for them,
It it
especially
it
this year.
looks like a really great cause, and we're
Yeah,
happy we could help out with it. And
yeah.
yeah, with our prices, we're putting our best prices out there all the time.
Oh, yeah,
So I know a lot of other companies, sometimes you'll see that they'll have sales of like 10% off or 15% off or even more than that. We just always put out our best price. We never do any sales, and that's why we don't do
yeah,
anything like that. But yeah, thank you for allowing
yeah.
us to do that, and we're happy we could help.
But it's also what you said before. It's true that prices of latex mattress are often much more expensive than this. And
Yeah,
this doesn't mean they are better quality, you know. And it's for that you keep your price really low for people to be able to access to it.
exactly.
Because it's true. I remember some friend when I told them about this some years ago, oh, but it's so expensive. Yeah, as is for that, when I discovered you, I think it was in 2008 or 9 or 10, I don't remember, online. I don't remember when it was, some years ago, when I needed this guest bed mattress, I was amazed by the prices. I said, wow, this is really nice.
Yeah,
And as it was for best bed, I said, okay, I'm going to try. And when I saw it arriving, I was like even more impressed. I said, wow, this is an amazing quality for that price. So I understand how it's, difficult for you to do an incentive on that.
yeah.
But really, really, really generous of you to do a donation. Thank
Oh,
you
of course,
so
of course.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And it was so good to connect with you today,
yeah.
because we've talked about how you actually bought our product like right when we first started. You were like one of our first customers,
Yeah.
and we didn't even talk until, many years
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's really funny because at that time when I bought it, it was no Instagram, it was no, followers and collaboration,
Right, right.
live video and that. And who would tell me? But as I said at the beginning, it's like a natural thing in my life about mattresses, My uncle was making them in wool and that, and my bed that was not great when I went back to my parents. And after my first latex contact,
Yeah.
mattress, and all a life of mattresses, And now here we are. I, I'm amazed because who would tell me when I bought the first one at your company that today we will be doing that?
I know, I know.
And I have a lot of requests about how to sleep well, how to sleep. But this is the first thing. After, sure, there are a lot of things. There are the things to maybe take a time for yourself before going to sleep, like 10, 15 minutes doing nothing. People are going to call it meditation. But
Yeah.
meditation, it's already doing something. But just be there, just feeling the body seated, or even in your bed. But often you're going to fall asleep very soon. If you go in your body just to feel the body, poof, you're going to be gone, you know,
Yeah.
especially on latex. So it's that. It's as simple as that, not
Yeah.
complicated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Karl. Thank you
Thank
very much.
thank you again, Yasmina. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna put your contact in the text underneath the video.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
these people can go and check it out and maybe try, and you know, it's
And,
like
and if anyone has any questions, we have a great customer service department. They're all very knowledgeable. So if you reach out to us, they can give you really good answers or give you recommendations on the best choice for you. So please feel free to reach out to us if we can help in any way.
thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. Take
Bye
care.
bye. Bye,
Bye. Bye.
Karl. So I think you have to uncheck your little arrow. Voila. So I hope this was interesting for you because it's something I spoke last year. I was not knowing I will do a live with Karl from Sleep on Latex. And it's quite very, in fact, it's very simple. There is nothing complicated in that. And you go to the essential and it's really make a big difference. So I encourage you to investigate and to try because it's really wonderful. And knowing how it's done with what ethical way it's done, this is even a plus because it's when the object you use, the way they are made, and the way they can help the farmers or the herders, it's also something positive, a positive energy that you have for your sleep. And this is, it's precious. And when you know that it's come from a small company like that, not a mass industrial big thing, you know, that has not this kind of ethical way to do, it's even better. Voilà, so I want to thank you very much for the badges. I see that some people took badges. Thank you so much. It's really kind of you. I wish you a very good weekend. And I hope I'm going to get my Instagram on my phone soon because it's complicated to carry my iPad everywhere. And thank you. And see you soon. I think next week I'm going to do a video about very simple self massages. So I don't know when, but I'm going to do this next week. Bye bye.